Good morning to you. Good morning to you. My name is Eric VM Hoy Soy. I am the voice of FutureSquawk, guys, and I am bringing it to you live from the floor of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange from alongside the S&P Futures Pits. That's right, guys. It was an amazing weekend, the goodest of all the good weekends that I think I've had in a while, and I hope you guys had a great weekend as well. I know goodest isn't a word, but yes, oh yes, it was one of those. So guys, let's take a look at what we're seeing here. Let's take a look at what we're seeing in the overnight session. Did we see a gap down? Oh yes, we did. So we saw a gap down, and we have yet to see a gap fill on the ES. So let's go out to that 4-hour time frame, guys. Well, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. So that's that 4-hour time frame on the ES, and let's talk about, guys, if you notice today, we are just on the /ES contract. We're not on the Z8 any longer. So I do think here, I do think that we did talk about that 92 to 94 area as a big area, as we are initiative out of balance right now. I think we can actually, I think we can actually tighten that up a little bit. I think we can bring that up to the 2900, guys. I think we can bring that up to the 2900, the middle of this last area of balance. So we do have a large overlapping from 29.1752 all the way down to 28.6750s, and the middle of that is 93s, 94s. We do have it as we did have it as 64 before, but I do think that we can definitely tighten that up into the 28.94s now, and we can actually keep it tighter. But I think that I think we need to see some support here once before we can tighten that up. So I think the middle of the previous area of balance, I think here at the 94 is where we want to be. So that's our price pattern on the 4-hour time frame. We did see initiative out of balance. Out of that area, we are pulling back. We're trading the 28s right now, so 29.28s. I think we're looking at the 28.94s as our area to buy. The long lean bias on the 30-minute time frame, guys. Long lean bias on the 30-minute time frame. What do we have? I think that we know that the 5 minute's been invalidated, but I think that the 30-minute bias, guys, I think the 30-minute bias is definitely. I think I'm going to get rid of this here. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. All right, so we have our larger area. I think the 30-minute bias, guys, failed initiative out of balance and back into those 11s. I think that that's the first place we would be looking to buy, but guys, that would be invalidated with a third area balance lower. We are seeing a second area balance currently. Yeah, let's call it the 11s. 11.25, guys. 11.25 will invalidate our 30-minute lean. So 29.11 quarter. All right, guys, and that 5-minute long lean bias, you guys know it. You guys, we invalidated that yesterday. We invalidated that long lean bias on the 5 minutes. So we have no bias, right? No bias on the 5-minute time frame. We don't. Key area is we definitely do need to see new all-time highs to reestablish, and we need and guys, we would need I am currently looking, since we think we're on dual-sided trade here, guys. I think that the trade has become two-sided. I think that this 30 area is a fairly decent area for support, but I could really see us coming all the way back up here into the 37s. So I'm going to be looking to sell some 35, let's call it some 35 halves if we get back up there. We're looking to sell some 35 halves on the 5-minute time frame. All right, guys, so that is that's what we're seeing here on the ES. I'll post it up. Chat blast. There we go. There's the ES, guys. let's go ahead and move it on over, rock it on over to the NASDAQ. So guys, actually let's go, I'm going to go back out to the full chart so you guys can see it. Alright guys, there's a 5-minute ES, here's a 5-minute NASDAQ, right? One of these things is clearly not like the other, right? So the ES did come off, there's no doubt about it, came off in a little bit in the session. We did spike up into the 2974. We did not spike up at all in the in the NASDAQ, guys. Not up into all-time highs in the slightest. So guys, we did see overlapping price activity 3 times yesterday, whereas we only saw it 1 and maybe 2 times in the ES. And we saw that gap down, and we have seen 2 5-minute price patterns in 2 areas of balance, one at the very bottom, and then one first area of balance higher, guys, on the ES and on the YM and on the Russell. But guys, what have we not seen in the NASDAQ? We have not seen the same thing. NASDAQ's down 42 points right now. Great time to look over. We're seeing the DAX was down 40 about 20 minutes ago. Now it's down 55, and the FTSE was down 13. Now it's down 23. So guys, we're seeing DAX and FTSE start to come off as well ahead of Draghi's comments. All right, and so we have seen overlapping price activity higher in the ES, but guys, we have not seen anything of the like. We had talked on Friday about how that NASDAQ is weak off those recent all-time highs. So let's take a look at it. We did see that spike up into the 76.97s, guys, in the NASDAQ on the continuous contract before the roll, and since the roll, guys, we have been unable to trade above that 30 for any sort of sustained the 76.30 above any sort of sustained.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues.
So there's somebody actually speaking on the
ECB President Mario Draghi.
On the ECB.
Before starting our monetary dialogue, I would like first to adopt that. Thank you. A very short report on ongoing interinstitutional negotiation.
Alright guys, so that is let's go in going strong here on the ES, I'm sorry, the Committee on Economic and Monetary Affairs is getting started. Session appears to be pretty quiet right now, but yeah.
Reporting and disclosure umbrella.
Alright guys, so yeah, we have seen weakness, no doubt about it, weakness in this NASDAQ, guys. We're still keeping the 7420 to 7390 area, right? And that was recent lows that we had seen, right? Since our 4-hour long lean bias, right? We have no bias on the 30-minute. If anything, we have a short lean bias. We needed to see on Friday, Thursday, and Friday. We need to see sustained trade above 76.30 to reestablish the lean. We're unable to get that, and we're actually making lows below here below the below previous lows in the NASDAQ, guys. So definitely want to bring that to your attention. We could very easily say that this is a larger area balance here on the 30-minute. I don't think that's really super fair to say, because I think that whole thing is the 4-hour. But guys, we can definitely say that we have failed out at the upper extreme at this 30 to 37 area. Failed out significantly. We're seeing initiative out of balance to the downside below the overnight right now. So I think we have no lean on the 30-minute time frame. If we do, we have a small bias to the downside. All right, guys, and then on the 5-minute time frame, let's go into the 30-minute here real quick, just to confirm what we are seeing. If you wanted to, you could definitely keep a short lean into the 75. Actually, let's do it 75.58 and 59. All right, 75.59.
Maintain an ample degree of monetary accommodation. I would like to welcome this decision.
Alright guys, so 75.59, we do have a short lean bias, right?
We're going to discuss also central bank communication.
In 30-minute, and guys, what do we have on the 5-minute time frame? You tell me, right?
the communication of the ECB is being.
All right, guys, on the 5-minute time frame, what are we seeing? We are seeing clearly overlapping price activity, initiative out of balance to the downside. Where do we not want it anymore? I think that's a good question. It's a very good question. I think that if we get sustained trade up through this 5-minute after initiative out of balance, so back up to the 75.30, and that is invalidation, right? So we'll just leave it there. We'll just leave a key area.
Strengthen the positive assessment of the effectiveness of the monetary policy of the ECB. So thank you very much.
All right, guys, we are initiative out of balance. So I think the only thing we can do is protect. We can leave an area here where we're looking to take off that lean, guys. We're looking to take off that lean, but I don't think that we have anything more that we can really do. With initiative out of balance, we're not going to jump initiative. We're not going to leave our wingman. We're not going to, right? So that's what we're seeing in the NASDAQ. So I think that the only thing that we have left in the NASDAQ is talking about that the short lean bias on the 30-minute. The short lean bias, we are currently initiative, and invalidation is sustained trade above the 75.30, guys. Posting that up for you as well. Excellent. Draghi is currently speaking, guys. Draghi is currently speaking. Alright, guys, so we're seeing the ES start to come off a little bit as well. Same thing with the Russell.
Which nowadays forms an
integral part on the 5-minute. Okay, so long lean on the Russell. We definitely have a long lean on the 4-hour time frame. Let's talk about that real quick. Guys, clearly a long lean on the Russell on the 4-hour time frame. Middle of that area of balance is the 1680s. Is the 1680s, guys. So that Russell is definitely definitely looking for that 88.9 anywhere above. Guys, we have no bias on the 30-minute time frame. No bias currently. Let's see if that has changed from yesterday, from Friday.
With signs of
I don't think we can really have any bias. Anything is short, a small short bias, but I think that it's more likely to be traded on the 5-minute time frame up into the 17.4.
Since
I think that 30-minute bias is really hard to establish with this wide range chop. Guys, let's actually just zoom out to a 1-hour chart so you guys can see it, guys. We had 1, 2, 3 areas of balance lower, and we've had a chop that takes out the upper extreme and lower extreme of that area of balance, and we have seen twice we've seen rotation. I think that we're more likely to see rotation back down here, but as you guys know, that Russell has been manic. So I'm going to say we have no lean on the 30-minute time frame, and I think that's fair to say, and I think that we're looking for a short anywhere from the 17 to the 19, 17.3 to 19.
And solid demand continue to support spending. Looking ahead, the latest ECB staff macroeconomic projections confirm the outlook for continued broad-based growth of the euro area economy.
Alright, guys, so that's our Russell, right? We do have that long lean bias, we have no bias, and we do have a short bias on the 5-minute time frame.
1.8% in 2019 and 1.7% in 2020, with a slight downward revision for 18 and 19, mainly reflecting
and finally, last but not least, let's take a look at that YM, right?
Risks surrounding the euro area outlook.
Alright, guys, YM did invalidate on Friday, right? We did invalidate in the morning. We did invalidate. We have seen sustained trade in the overnight session below that key area below the 5-minute overlapping price activity on the 4-hour, guys. What can we do? We can definitely say that this is.
Regarding inflation developments,
this is a 4-hour lean that we're seeing here after with overlapping trade right
down from 2.1 in July. Headline
guys, so we can tighten that up, and I think that
reflecting the strong increase in oil price.
The 25.9
measures of underlying inflation.
Yeah, 25.9.
But have been increasing from earlier lows as domestic price pressures are strengthening and broadening.
All right, 25.983, right?
Underlying inflation is expected to increase further over the coming months as the tightening labor market is pushing up wage growth.
Guys,
For
that's
example,
20 points lower than we had
annual growth in
previously,
negotiated wages in the euro
because
area
we had actually
increased from
tightened it up. Let's
1.5%
talk
in
about that.
2017
We did
to
talk about that
1.7%
that area
in the
balance that we
first
saw
quarter
here
of
for
2018
2.5 days. I think a
2.2%
4-hour
in the
time frame is
second
much better to see it over
This
that
supports our
longer time frame,
confidence
over that week and a half,
the
2
pickup
weeks.
in wage growth
So I
will
think that we're going
continue,
to keep that here
as
at
wage
the
agreements
983.
often last 2 years or
We
more.
headed into the
Looking forward,
26,026, I
annual
think, on
rates of
Friday.
HICP inflation
We're
likely
going to
to
go ahead
hover
and we're
around
going
current levels in the
to
coming
loosen that
months,
up a little bit.
and
I
are
think
projected to
it's very
reach
fair to say,
1.7% in each year,
especially since
between
we
now
are
and
still
2020.
currently trading above
This stable
the previous
profile
all-time
conceals a
highs, right?
slowing contribution from the non-core components of the general
So guys,
index,
we are looking for that 983,
and a relatively vigorous
25,983. We
pickup in
do have a long
underlying
bias on the
inflation.
30-minute time frame.
Reflecting these dynamics,
go ahead and look at the
ECB
30-minute
projections
time frame.
foresee inflation excluding food and energy reaching 1.8%
Guys, the 30-minute time
in
frame, I think
2020.
that I think that
Overall,
we saw a test of the
recent
30-minute time frame in the overnight session,
vindicate
guys.
the Governing
that,
Council's earlier assessments of the medium-term inflation outlook.
The 26,644, guys, 643. The lows of the overnight session were the 650s. I think at 643 invalidates our 30-minute long lean.
Conditional plan announced at our press conference in June in Riga to reduce the monthly pace of net asset purchases to 15 billion from October until the end of the year.
We had it at 646 before. I think we can leave it there. I think that's fine. We talked about that 30-minute bias price pattern into 26, 646. We saw 650s trade. So I think below that, I think that invalidates that long lean. Long lean bias on the 5-minute time frame. We don't, guys. We definitely do not have a long lean bias on the 5-minute time frame. In that YM, guys, we clearly
in calibrating the monetary policy
we clearly
stance.
have no bias on the 5-minute time frame. No bias.
We will continue to
because, guys, we saw invalidation of that long lean. We've seen sustained trade below. We have yet to see. We have to see trade record above that 26,820 in order to reestablish. So we have no bias,
which we expect to remain at present levels at least through the summer next year. And
so
in any
we have
case,
no bias, and
as
what do
long
we
as
need to see? Key
necessary
area
to ensure the continued convergence of inflation towards our aim.
Our key area is new all-time highs reestablished, and we will be selling, right? Where will we be selling?
Until the end of this year. And third, the reinvestment of the sizable stock of acquired securities.
If we get back up into the
our monetary policy measures
guys,
have made
I'm
a very
looking to
substantial
sell.
contribution to the
sell
positive economic developments in the euro area. If we consider all the policy measures taken since mid-2014, our staff estimates show
downside
that the
activity.
overall impact
cool.
on
The
euro
YM
area
is
real
clearly
GDP
initiative,
growth
though.
and
Clearly
euro area
initiative.
inflation
But
is in
we
both
have
cases
no bias on the 5-minute time frame.
1.9 percentage points
Alright, guys, so that is
between 16 and 2020.
That's what we're seeing here, guys. I think that
turn to the topic of central bank communication that you suggested
that
for today's
summarizes
meeting.
what we've seen in the overnight activity, guys.
Regarding this topic,
that summarizes the activity that we saw on Friday.
Do
we think that we're gonna do we think that there's a chance that we're not going to see new all-time highs? I don't. I think that we will. I think there's a greater chance than not that we will see new all-time highs this week. But remember, this is going to be a data-filled week. There's no doubt about it. We do have, I think we have, pretty sure we have Fed coming up this week. We have Draghi speaking now. We're gonna have a lot of inputs this week.
When we first gave forward guidance in 2013, our goal was to insulate euro area financing conditions.
So definitely something to keep your eye on, guys. I do think that we are in. One thing I want to bring to your attention is I do think that we are into clearly into dual-sided trade, guys. I think we're back into dual-sided trade, which means, like I said on Friday, guys, it's very, very difficult to take a short into new all-time highs until you have 5-minute invalidation. We had 5-minute invalidation on Friday, guys. and we have seen continued downside activity this morning. So I think that we have good reason to believe that we definitely have good price pattern above us, right? Definitely have reason to believe that we can trade around the balance areas that have been established in order to maximize the profit and
since June 2018, we have expressed to see that subject
see some of that continued trade to the upside, guys. So,
net purchases will likely end
both sides currently.
after December 2018.
So yeah, guys, I think that we are 20 points off those all-time highs. I do think we are, and I do think that we're trading that right now in the ES. I think it's that definitely brings back into question, right? Some of that long lean, some of that big buying that we saw from the 21s higher. But guys, definitely remember, we're still above those 21s, right? The 21s that we broke out from, still above them and still seeing buying, guys. So big buyers on the close on Friday, and I think that we're likely to continue to see that. Alright guys, so that does conclude Chart Talk for this morning, guys. Those of you guys who are subscribers, you guys know that I am
conditional.
I'm super grateful to the fact that you guys are here, and we'll do my best to bring you the quality content that you need every single day. Those of you guys who are not subscribers, those of you guys who are watching it on YouTube, yeah, that's right, guys. That's right, you guys don't have the benefit of the charts, you don't have the benefit of the chat with me, you don't have the benefits of subscriberdom, but you can change that quick, fast, in a hurry by heading over to FutureSquawk.com and subscribing. That's right, you can send me an email if you have some questions beforehand. I will respond quick, fast, in a hurry to you. But guys, this has been this is FutureSquawk, and it has been a Lost Child production. It is dedicated to my son, my beautiful baby. I love you. I know it's probably pretty embarrassing for me to say, but yeah, I do. I love you, man. You are my light, my soul, and my joy. So guys, that has been FutureSquawk. That's what we are seeing today. It's 8:23:34, and we are going to be rocking it out, guys, rocking it out during the entire trading day today. Trade well and trade smart.